Right. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So tonight's class is going to be a little bit different than the normal yoga classes that we have here because I chose it to be that way. We're going to be practicing restorative yoga if that feels okay for you. Restorative yoga compared to regular yoga like we normally do is the difference between active and passive stretching. So in our normal yoga classes, we are reaching, we're activating, we're stretching outwards, we're using the muscles of the body in an active way to create relief. Now that's beautiful, and we'll still do that sometimes, but tonight's class is going to be the passive stretching. And so we'll position ourselves on some props, and I'll tell you what those are here in just a moment, to allow yourself to relax into a stretch. And so if you think about like if you got a support over something and you just kind of lay over it, slowly gravity will start to just pull muscles out of stuck tensious spaces. And it's one of the most grounding exercises we can actually do. Once every like 2 or 3 months, I throw one of these classes into this rotation, and y'all seem to like it. So I figured tonight, given that we've had the time change and like it's getting darker earlier, people are feeling a little fatigued, I've found. So we're going to practice restorative yoga. Now, what you'll need for that is stuff that you can find around your house. You don't need a yoga studio full of stuff. So I recommend having two bed pillows, like regular bed. I literally pulled these off my bed. They're not special at all. I mean, they're special to me because they're comfortable, but these are just regular pillows. So you'll need two of those, and then one or two folded blankets. And this can be like a couch throw. If you actually have like a thick wool blanket, it's fine. Any old blanket will do, really. Um, Yeah, and that's all you'll need. That's all you'll need. You don't need anything else besides that, really. It's just a couple of bed pillows. Just go grab them right off your bed, and one or two blankets. I'll give you a moment to grab those. And I can't tell when you're back, so I'm just going to banter for a little longer here. um, one of the goals of yoga, among many, many other goals, is to help calm the restless fluctuations of the mind. And so we are activated in our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight response. It's very hard to create rational thought or to step outside of whatever affectedness that we might be currently in. And so this practice in particular, the restorative yoga, really helps to take that crazy monkey mind, that spinning that we can sometimes find ourselves in, that activation, and really help ground it, really pull it down. And we spend 3 to 4, sometimes 5 minutes in each posture to really let yourself ground and to let go. And so I'll be coaching you through each posture, reminding you to stay present, reminding you to settle in deeper and to relax tension where you find it. So if you're not back yet, continue to take your time. We're going to go ahead and get centered. So sitting comfortably, have your hands down on your thighs or knees. Relax your shoulders down your back and allow your eyes to close. And we'll begin by taking some deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, exhale out of your mouth. And do that a few more times. This simple breathing rhythm tells your nervous system that now is the time to start to relax. Now is the time to start to slow down. Now is the time to help to take care of your entire system, your body, your energy, your mind. Now is the time to let go of the need to control anything the need to achieve anything. Now is the time to relax. You can let your mouth close and breathe slowly through your nostrils for a few more rounds. And just feel yourself, even here, start to soften. The shoulders dropping away from your ears, the belly relaxed, the jaw releases, and the space behind your eyes softens, relaxing the forehead, relaxing your throat, and ungripping your hands and your feet. Now is the time to rest. So with that, take a deeper breath, bring your palms together, lower your chin, and just honor yourself as you are in this moment, this body, breath, energetic state, and state of mind. You can allow this practice to be in service of all that. So go ahead and rub the palms together, creating heat. And take your heated palms over your eyes, brushing gently over the top of your head and down your neck, bringing yourself back to the space. Welcome back. Good. So format-wise, what tonight will look like is that I'll quickly demonstrate a posture, and then I'll have you do it. Okay. So each time we're going to come out and come up, and then I'll show you, and then we'll do the next one. So the first posture we're going to do is asymmetrical. It's a twist. So we'll do once on each side. So I might not spend time demonstrating it once we come up because we're just going to do it again, but on the other side. So a lying twist. For this, you will need maybe both pillows. And you'll see what maybe means here in just a moment. I'm going to start with one. I'll start with one, and if I need another one, I will bring it in. So I'm going to start off laying down on my back. And from here, I'm going to take my hips and shift them to the left side of my yoga mat. My pillow is on the right side. Good. Now I'm going to bend the left knee into my chest and start to bring the leg across the body toward the floor on the right side. Now, to make this restorative, we want to support this leg. And as I bring it down, I realize I actually want to have the second pillow. So I'm going to bring the second pillow here, push that down a little bit, and start over. There we go. So I'm going to take the knee across, and the leg is resting right on top of the pillows here, as you can see. Now, what's happening in the upper body is I'm just slowly allowing my left shoulder to hang back behind me. My arm is relaxing back, and my chin is turning to the left. And we'll just start to soften here, relaxing into this. And you have to make some adjustments if you need to. And then you'll just slowly start letting go. Okay. Now, if you're already in the pose, just stay in it. If you're not, I'll walk you through the steps. So again, you'll need one or two pillows and put them on the right side of your yoga mat. You may scooch them closer to you eventually, but just have them there to start. Once you lay down on your back, scooch your hips, just the hips to the left, and bring your left knee into your chest. Good. Now with an exhale, bring the left knee across the body toward the floor on your right side. Now here's where you may want to scoot the pillows closer to you to allow that knee, the thigh, and the lower leg to rest on the pillow. And your right hand, if you want to, can just rest gently on top of that thigh. Now for upper body, think about grounding your left shoulder down. And maybe even turning the chin to the left. If that's not comfortable in your neck, just look straight up. Now, the least you do here, the least you effort, the more will happen. And so you might notice some effort to twist here. Don't try to effort in the twist, just relax. Relax the muscles around your spine, your shoulders. Allow the weight of the leg resting on the pillows to be what pulls you further into the stretch eventually. Relax the muscles of your abdomen. No need to grip, no need to hold here. And anywhere else that you find yourself efforting, relax that effort. And as your body relaxes, just let your breath be soft and effortless as well. Aware of the inhale, aware of the exhale. And often when the body becomes still, or even when the body becomes relaxed, the mind starts moving, starts thinking and figuring things out. We don't need to do that right now. And so you can abandon those thoughts and just be aware of your breath, the sensation flowing in, and the sensation flowing out. Aware of the inhale, aware of the exhale. Now, in a moment, we'll be coming out of this pose. And your first really active movement will actually just be you deepening your breath. So go ahead and take a deeper breath. And then carefully slide the left leg off the pillows, rolling onto your back and scooching your hips to the center of your mat. And just feel for a moment here, having stayed for honestly about 4 or 5 minutes on that first side. Just notice there might be a difference between the two sides of your body. Good. Now we do have to do the other side. And as I mentioned, I won't come up and demonstrate it. What you'll do is you'll just move the pillows from your right side to your left side. Setup is done. Scooching the hips to the right side of your yoga mat, keeping the shoulders where they're at. Bring your right knee into your chest. Draw it in. And with an exhale, go ahead and take that right knee across the body toward your pillows. You may need to scooch them closer to your body. And just let the thigh, the knee, and the lower leg rest comfortably on top of the pillows or singular pillow if it's only one. Your left hand can rest gently on top of your right knee if you want. Your right arm is hanging out behind you, helping to ground that right shoulder down, and your chin might even turn to the right, or you can just look straight up. Now, because we've moved, some of the body has activated again. There's the gripping, the holding, the tensing, the effort. And so we have to again go through the body and ask it to relax piece by piece, place by place, part by part. Now, because it's a twist, think about relaxing the muscles along the entire spinal column, your lower back, your mid back, your upper back, the muscles in and around your shoulders. There's even a bit of a stretch happening in the pectoral muscles in the front of the chest. You can think about relaxing your hips, relax your abdomen, and anywhere else. And then allow your breath to be soft here as well. Your mind, your consciousness, tracking the breath, aware of the inhale, aware of the exhale. And if you find your mind getting drifted or pulled into some other scenario, just come back. Just abandon those thoughts. Just come back. Noticing where the mind goes when everything else becomes quiet, bringing the mind back to the breath. We're going to stay for just a little bit longer. See if you can relax just a little bit more here. Now allowing your first active movement just to be the deepening of your breath. So when you're ready, take a deeper, fuller breath. And carefully slide the right leg off, rolling onto your back, maybe shifting the hips back to the center of your mat, and just feel again for a moment. And then when you're ready, roll carefully to your right side and come on up to a seat. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that one because that one felt good to me. So demonstrating the next posture, you'll need both pillows for this one. I'm going to bring the pillows maybe looking at my camera where I'm at here, further close to the edge of your mat, maybe like a foot up from the base of your mat. My feet are going to be pointing this way. My head is going to be pointing this way. Yeah, you might have to adjust it. And so I'm going to come to kneel at the very center of the pillow stack. Okay, so this shouldn't hurt your knees, but if it does, we'll be down pretty quickly from here. And from here, I'm just going to come to lay down on my chest and cross the arms in front of me, forehead on the back. Now my knees are raised here, and this is creating some stretch in the front of the thighs, in the front of the pelvis, and the front of the abdomen. This is great to do if you sit a lot. Okay, so if you're already here, stay here. I'll walk you through the steps if you're not. Stacking both pillows toward the end of your mat, come to kneel on them right at the center, and then bring your hands down and just slowly lower yourself down to the floor. And cross your arms in front of you. And for this one, you could even take the arms forward enough to bring your head to the floor, turning the head to a side. Just allow it to be effortless here. And this stretch at first might feel quite subtle. That's okay. Like the previous exercise, this will just start to relax everything. Relax the tops of the thighs, the hips, your belly. Relax your lower back. And we're breathing here, aware of the inhale and the exhale. You may feel parts of your body tense back up. I'll just invite you to relax them once again. Noticing when your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, relaxing tension, relaxing effort where you find it. So, allowing your first active movement from this pose to be the deepening of your breath. And from here, coming out of the pose, if you want to, you can do a little push up and just walk back the way you came, or you can just roll to a side and come off the pillows. Feel sensation once you come back up. Just notice what's going on. What I have been noticing, actually both exercises, the twist on each side, and then this one is that I can start to feel my digestion start to move around a bit. But there's also like a sense of openness that's starting to be created in front of my body. So we're going to do some work next for the sides of our body. So again, it's an asymmetrical exercise. We'll do it once on each side. And I'll give you an option to use one or both pillows. Okay. And so basically we'll end up kind of doing a banana shape over the pillows. So you'll bring them to the center of your mat. I think I'm going to start with both. And if I come into it, I don't like it, I'll just come back up and take one off. Okay. And you're going to think about your hip bone, your right hip bone in this case. And you want this to be at the center of the pillow stack, not up here, not back here, but the very center. So this might take some eyeballing. There we go, center. Good. Now, once it's down, I'm going to drape down so that my shoulder and maybe even my rib cage is on the ground and my legs are on the ground, straightened out. And just kind of just stacking the body here. Now, a few things can happen here if you want. If you want, you can bring that blanket that I told you to grab earlier and bring it underneath your head just to create a little bit of a pillow situation. You can also cross one leg in front of you. If it doesn't feel comfortable to stack them, you can kind of just lean a little bit. And then the top arm can either extend all the way overhead or it can just relax next to you. I think that's hard to do with my headset on. So that's the pose. If you're not in it already, I'll walk you through the steps. If you're already in it, just stay in it. Good. Pillows at the center of your mat. You'll identify where your pointy hip bone is and bring it to the center of the pillow stack. And just drape yourself down over it. Good. Stacking the body. Again, it's a lateral banana-shaped situation that we're trying to achieve here. Good. You can bring a blanket underneath your head and your legs are extending out. And make any adjustments from here that you need to. If it feels like the hips are too high, come up and remove a pillow. And just settle in. And this one might take a little bit longer to find where it feels good for you. You might just separate the feet a little bit if you need. And the left hand can come down to the floor or can just extend overhead. Whatever feels good. But do eventually find a position that feels like where you can stay still for a bit. And start to relax anywhere you feel some gripping, holding, the hips, the side abdomen, the legs. You might feel a slight stretch in your IT band, which is the muscle that runs along the side of your leg from the hip down toward the ankle. And just relax. And breathe. Again, the less you effort in restorative yoga, the further you go. That's the effort in your body, of course, but it's also the effort of the mind. If you can stay present with relaxing, you'll relax deeper. So, all those thoughts, all that to doing, and all that figuring out, just leave it for now. Staying here for just a few more breaths. And please begin to take a deeper, fuller breath. And when you're ready, begin to come out, slowly bringing yourself back up to a seat. And just notice sensation as you arrive. When you're ready, we'll do the other side. You can just turn around on your mat and keep your pillows where they're at. I'm going to flip to the other side so I can keep facing you. But it's the same exact setup. Pillows in the center of your mat. You're going to identify your left pointy hip bone and bring that to rest at the center of your pillows. Good. And then relaxing down, you may want to bring that blanket under your arm again. And the legs are extending downward. You can scissor them a little bit if you need to for stability. The right arm can either extend all the way overhead and hang out. You could also come down in front of you to help stabilize. And do take time to make adjustments here. Like this is helpful to make sure that you're comfortable and that you can actually relax where you need to relax in your body. So it's okay to shift a little bit here at the beginning. And then do eventually find some stillness. And relax anything that needs to be relaxed, any activation of the legs, the hips, the belly, the right side abdomen or the lower back. And breathe. When the mind wanders, bring it back. And just a few more breaths here. And then please begin to deepen your breath. And slowly start to come out of the pose. Take your time with that transition. So I don't know about you, but most of these postures, once I'm in them, I'm like, I could just stay here forever. I'm having a great time. So we're going to do a back bend next using, again, our little props that we got here. It's good to note that you always have this around when you're at home. So if you like something we're doing here tonight, just bring it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and use both pillows. Why not? If you end up getting there and you realize you don't want it to be so high, you don't have to. So I'm going to have one blanket at the very top of my mat, and this is going to be a pillow for me, which I know is kind of ironic because these are pillows and that's a blanket, but this is going to be my pillow. And I'm going to be laying down over the pillows themselves. Now, there's a couple of nuances here, so watch me do it once, all right? And I might even come down off of two pillows, but we'll see. Kind of curious how my back is doing tonight. So to help emphasize the back bend, I want to make it so that my shoulders can come toward the ground. Now mine are hovering off the ground, maybe just a couple of inches, or maybe like 1 inch or so. It's hard to tell from here, but only a little bit. So that my arms can extend out to the side and that my chest is pressing toward the ceiling. Okay. And this feels good for me, using the blanket as a pillow, arms out to the side, my legs were just straight in, straight out. If this felt too intense, like it was just too deep of a back bend or was digging into my lower back in a weird way, I would come down and I would just use one pillow. Okay. So if you're already in it, stay there. If you are not in it, bring a pillow to the end or the blanket to the end of your mat as a pillow. Bring one or two pillows stacked, maybe a couple of inches in front, and then come to sit with your back to the pillows. And if you want to, you can even compress the pillows down at your lower back and then just back bend over it, come to lay down, and your arms extending out to the side, straight out. And we're just gonna relax here for a bit. And your feet can be about mat width apart, so just a couple of feet, and just let the toes flop out to the side. This will let the hips relax a bit here. And notice where you feel some tension or gripping. It might be in the muscles of the chest, maybe in the shoulders, somewhere else along the spine. So you can make some adjustments here first to make sure that you are comfortable. And then eventually come into stillness and just let yourself be here. Breathe. Feeling the chest just melt open here. Okay, so when you're ready, begin to deepen your breath. When you're ready to shift, you can just roll to your right side and peel yourself on up. And just feel sensation again. Hmm. I have to be careful teaching these postures and doing them at the same time. I could easily fall asleep here. So the next one is not going to be too different from the last one. We were doing a back bend last time, raising the chest off the ground. This time we're going to be raising the hips off the ground. And so your blanket pillow can stay where it's at, and your stack of pillows is going to shift more toward the center line of your mat. So I'm just going to pull it this way a little bit here. Okay. Now I'm going to come to sit on the edge of the pillows. So more forward toward this side so that when I lay it down, my hips are on the center of it. So I'll just lay myself on down. Oh, good. That was good spacing. All right. Pillows in place, stack of pillows in place. And once we get here, we're going to take the feet about mat width apart again. Let the toes flap out. This allows the pelvis and the hips to relax open and just helps you deepen into this pose a bit more. Okay? So if you're in it already, stay. If you're not, I'll walk you through it. Having your pillows at the center of your mat, sitting on the edge of them to start. And then you're just going to recline back so that the center line of your hips is at the center of the pillow stack. And straighten the legs out to the floor. Your arms can just relax to your side. Maybe palms face up. This helps the shoulders to relax. And just taking some deep breaths here. If you need to make any adjustments, if you need to come up and shift a bit, if it feels too high, you can come down to one pillow. And for this particular posture, I find that people either tend to love it or hate it. There's very little gray room here. Because if you have a lot of tension in the tops of your thighs, your hips, or even your low belly, this might be uncomfortable, especially at first. But I encourage you to stay in it regardless, because that tension will start to relax over time. Of course, if it tends just to be way too uncomfortable, you can come out, but see if you can stay just a little bit if it's uncomfortable. And breathe. and breathe. And then please begin to take a deeper, fuller breath. Go ahead and roll to a side. And take your time again as you bring yourself back up to a seat. Now, often in normal yoga, we sometimes feel sore afterwards, a good sore. And what you might find tomorrow is that you're still sore. We're still stretching the body. It's just a more passive way of doing it. So don't let anybody tell you that restorative yoga isn't as deep as regular yoga. It's just a different way to work with the body. So we're going to do one more posture, and then we're going to lay on our backs in regular Shavasana because we get that too here. And for this one, it's going to be a restorative forward bend. And so I'm going to sit on this blanket since I got it right here, like so. And I might turn at an angle so you can see me a bit better. So raising the hips will help you go further in this pose if you need to. So that's why I'm sitting on the blanket. And then I'll bring the soles of my feet together in butterfly. Yay, butterfly. And then I'll bring my pillows over, and I'm going to need both of them for this one. And I'm just going to bring the pillows directly laying on top of my legs. Now from here, I'll compress the pillows as it's closest to me to kind of let like my belly kind of like come over it a little bit. And that might take some shifting. And then I'll just start to fold down over the pillows. We won't spend too long here, so if you feel like this is becoming more of an active situation, that's okay. But I want you to come in for a little bit. So if you're in it, stay in it. If you're not, I'll walk you through it. Sitting on a blanket, bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly, knees going out to the sides. Then bring your pillows in front of your body. Compress the pillows closest to you, kind of drape the belly over the pillows, and just start to fold down. The pillows will stop you from going too far too fast. You can cross your arms if you want to here. You can feel your chin drop in towards your throat. And just let gravity do its work here. Staying for just a few more breaths. And then go ahead and take a deeper, fuller breath, please. And take your time as you sit back up. Wonderful. Great job. Now we'll come into Shavasana, our final relaxation posture. And for this one, you can either just come onto your back as you normally do, but there is a way to use some of these props for it as well. And so I will use the blanket as a pillow, and I'll bring my pillow, just one of them, underneath my knees when I come to lay down. This will take some pressure out of your lower back, allowing even laying down to be a bit more restorative if you feel like you need that. Not everybody does. And if you have a second blanket around, you can cover up with it if you want to. But go ahead and come to lay down. Feel your body uncross, toes flopping out to the sides, the arms by your sides, palms face up again. Again, this lets the shoulders relax a bit. And settle in. Relax anywhere you feel effort. And breathe. Peace. 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 Please begin to take a deeper, fuller breath. Make some gentle movements in your hands, your feet, your arms, and legs. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and roll to your right side. Coming up to a seat as you feel complete there. So once you've made it to a seat, I'll have you bring your palms together at your heart and just bow your chin. Just feel gratitude to yourself tonight for letting yourself rest, to not always have to be doing something, to not always have to be efforting towards something, but to actively, passively be resting, to let yourself be in that passive state where you can just receive the stretch, receive the nurturance, receive what you need. Gratitude to yourself for allowing that. And may that non work and this practice continue to serve you. So until next time, namaste.